What is up, Z Fighters? It's Manga Adventures, and today's What If was voted on by you guys in the community poll. I left part 4 very open-ended so I could do this, meaning we could have gone the GT route or the Super route, depending on the poll's outcome. The results are in, so Caulifla's story is locked into Super. If you're unhappy about the outcome, subscribe and vote for yourself next time. With that out of the way, let's jump right into the video. 4 years have passed since the defeat of Kid Buu, and Caulifla has trained for all of them. You see, right after the defeat of Buu, Caulifla still wanted her potential unlocked like Gohan. The Elder Kai asked for a kiss to do so, but she cracks her knuckles and says, "How about I don't shove you back into that sword?" Scared, he agrees and her power shoots up after a full day of sitting around. This means Caulifla can no longer turn into Super Saiyan, as we see in Super, Gohan goes Super Saiyan 2 but has to push himself to transform into Ultimate, meaning it's a level above it. Even if we use Z logic, there would still be no point, as stated by Elder Kai after unlocking Gohan's power, that it's already unlocked, so there will be nothing to transform into that will make you stronger than you already are. With this newfound power, Caulifla has greatly surpassed all of the Z Fighters except Gohan, who has stopped training to become a scholar. This leaves the female Saiyan with only Goku and Vegeta, who after Z warmed up to the idea of training with others, to spar with. Now, 2 Super Saiyan 2s would at first be a good workout for her, but because of the massive growth that the potential unlock provides, she soon dwarfs both of their powers to the point where she suggests they get their potentials unlocked as well. But both the Saiyans want to achieve greater power on their own, and because neither saw major growth in fighting with Caulifla, they instead went their own ways. Goku going to train with King Kai and Vegeta training in the gravity room, pushing himself way beyond his body's limits even as a Super Saiyan 2, leaving Caulifla completely bored. She came to Earth for excitement and worthy opponents, but after 10 years, they're finally gone. Her crew suggests they go out into space, but she screams, "To do what? All the strongest fighters are here on Earth. We'd be lucky to find someone as strong as Frieza. If I knew getting my potential unlocked was going to be like this, I would have never done it." This causes her to try sparring with all the Z Fighters, from Buu to Piccolo, but it all ends the same with an overwhelming victory. 18 of course doesn't fight unless she gets paid, but Caulifla doesn't have the kind of money she's asking for. The only thing that kept her going for these 4 years was mental training with past opponents that gave her a challenge. She thought of wishing for a strong opponent using the Dragon Balls more than once, but was told not to by Bulma. Though she wouldn't need the dragon, because her wish is coming true thanks to Beerus, who woke up from his nap after dreaming of the Super Saiyan God. His first stop is King Kai's world to fight one of the Saiyans responsible for killing Frieza, though he's disappointed Goku doesn't put up a good fight. His next stop will be Earth, during Bulma's birthday party. Everything will go per usual because Caulifla doesn't know about Beerus like Vegeta does, since she wouldn't have any reason to be in the throne room. And she doesn't pick a fight because she can't sense God Ki, so in her eyes he's nothing special. Though the party goes crazy when Buu eats Beerus's pudding and a fight breaks out. Everyone is thrown to the side, but Caulifla is still in the game, enjoying the fight. Now, using Gohan as an example, her power after training with her potential unlocked would be around pre-Tournament of Power Blue Kaioken Goku, meaning after the Future Trunks arc, seeing as Gohan was able to match that power after reawakening his. This means Goku was using the full extent of Blue at this point, and then some. Though since he didn't say a number, let's use ×2. All this means is that you can't use the Blue was holding back excuse for this argument. Now, of course, the difference in potential would be a factor, and there's no way to determine who has more since Caulifla was only recently introduced, but in my eyes, I do believe she has insane potential, being the first Super Saiyan 2 of Universe 6, and even receiving praise from Goku, whose technique she was learning / seeing through in mere minutes. I know a lot of people would say this is overpowered, but when you take into consideration Caulifla trains much harder and much more consistently than Gohan, in my eyes, this seems fair. But again, there's no way to determine this. Tell me what you think her power level would be. Back to the fight, the universe is shaking. Nobody can keep up, and Beerus and Caulifla are having the time of their lives, neither expecting to find someone this strong. Though, Beerus is becoming carried away, letting out too much of his power because no matter how strong Caulifla is, she can't match a god of destruction. When she's on her last breath, barely holding on to consciousness, Beerus fires one last energy ball towards the earth just to see how far she can go. Caulifla musters the last of her strength to fire a beam protecting the planet she's been on for so long, pushing away the ball and dispersing it. Though she falls out the sky after doing so, only to be caught by Beerus himself. Now usually he would be satisfied with these results, but if Caulifla is this strong, the Super Saiyan God must be insane. So he demands to meet him, though nobody knows what he's talking about, so they just ask Shenron, who explains the lore. After hearing this, they're ready to do the ritual. Goku, who's brought to Earth by the Supreme Kai, wants to do it, seeing that Caulifla already had her fight, and he wants to try to go around or two with the God of Destruction himself. She agrees, seeing this is a chance to gain a new sparring partner. The ritual doesn't work at first because they didn't understand how many Saiyans were needed, but when they added Vegeta, who they at first weren't sure had a righteous heart, it works, clearing all doubts. Beerus is a little worked up thanks to his fight with Caulifla, and since he was expecting more, let's just say the fight with Goku ends much sooner than in canon. So the God of Destruction doesn't leave on a high note, but it was still a good day. Since they had enough Saiyans, Videl didn't get a chance to reveal she was pregnant, so no better time than right after the world was possibly destroyed. Everyone congratulates the two on the baby, and immediately after, Goku challenges Caulifla to a fight. Even though he's upset he had to get this strong by borrowing power, he still wants to test out the Super Saiyan God, feeling sparring with her would help. Now, Vegeta feels left behind in terms of power, with Goku now being the Super Saiyan God and Caulifla having her potential unlocked. But he has an idea: bribe Whis into training him, which isn't hard since he loves Earth's food. When Goku finds out about this, he jumps at the opportunity, not seeing too much growth sparring against Caulifla's immense power. Although Caulifla herself refuses, instead wanting to be there for Pan's birth, telling them they'll need this handicap to catch up to her and that she'll be right behind them. Though plans change after Pan is born, Caulifla falls in love with the baby. Who knows why? Whether it was motherly instinct, the fact that this is the first female with Saiyan blood since her own after their planet was destroyed, or maybe she could sense an insane ki coming from this mere infant, but she wants nothing more than to spend time with her and mold her into a fighter similar to herself. She makes it a habit of asking to take care of Pan whenever Gohan or Videl are busy, and she uses this opportunity to train in front of the baby, showing her different techniques she's been working on, etc. And it's during one of these times that Frieza arrives. It turns out the tyrant has been alive for a few months and has been training for revenge. All the Z fighters head in the direction of his army, but just from sensing power levels, Caulifla knows they were outmatched, so she told Videl to hold on to Pan for just a moment. She'll be right back. Now, what you don't want to do is take away Pan time from Caulifla. That's an easy way to meet King Yama. When she arrives, her power is seeping out due to her anger. She's really not in the mood to suppress her power. So when Frieza senses this, he immediately transforms into gold, thinking it would give him an upper hand, though if you remember the power scaling, not even this is enough. And honestly, if you're one of the people who think Blue Goku in Resurrection F is as strong as Blue Goku right before the Tournament of Power, I can't help you. Now, Frieza is gone as soon as he came, and Caulifla rushes back to see Pan as if nothing happened, with a smile on her face. Goku and Vegeta weren't even needed, so they stay on Beerus' planet, only for their training to be interrupted by Champa, who's here to challenge Beerus to a food off. They share their best delicacies, but Champa loses the Earth's finest cuisine, instant wrong. When he looks for his Earth to find good food, it turns out that it's been destroyed. So he makes a bet with Beerus to gain his Earth by putting their best fighters against each other. Now Champa at the time thinks Vegeta and Goku are much weaker than they appear because of the heavy suits they're wearing, so that's why he's confident enough to bet the Super Dragon Balls as well. Beerus tasks Goku and Vegeta to gather fighters and demands them to bring Caulifla, because if they don't, he'll personally erase them. When they ask, Caulifla agrees since she's been itching for a powerful opponent and maybe he's just been in another universe this whole time. And it doesn't hurt that Pan is coming as well so she can show her good side. The other two recruits are Piccolo and Majin Buu, since Gohan has to go to a meeting. But since they have 5 fighters, there's no need to bother the overpowered Monarch. The tournament starts with a test that Caulifla and Goku barely pass and Majin Buu flat out fails, turning this into a 4v5, starting Universe 7 with a huge handicap. The first fighter by Beerus' command is Caulifla, since he views her as the strongest and doesn't want to take any risks. The first fighter on Universe 6's side is Botomo. His bouncy nature throws her off at first, but she eventually charges forward, stretching out his body until he flies out the ring like a rubber band, similar to what 17 did in the manga. She waves at Baby Pan, who waves back, which pumps Caulifla up for the next round, though she wasn't prepared for Frost's poison needle. No matter how strong you are, you can't stop something attacking from the inside. So she's knocked out the ring, feeling embarrassed for letting her guard down. Next up is Piccolo, who falls to the same poison, but this time Jocko sees Frost's trick and calls him out on it, which allows both him and Caulifla to be brought back into the tournament after Goku. Before Frost could be disqualified, Vegeta says he'll handle things and take him out as a Super Saiyan, to which he's a man of his word on. Next is Vegeta, who Vegeta may not be able to handle physically, but his foul mouth hurts the robot's feelings, securing him a win. We're now on to Vegeta versus Cabba, and the Saiyan Prince takes pity on the boy who's unable to turn Super Saiyan, teaching him in albeit a cruel manner, but at the end of the day, he does learn, and Cabba respects him for it enough to call him master, before Vegeta knocks him out, moving on to the final round versus Hit. Now, the Prince feels how strong Hit is, so he busts out Super Saiyan Blue, something he was saving for Caulifla, which causes her to be awestruck because when she sees a new transformation, she just has to learn it or has to fight it. Though even with this new form, Vegeta is unable to figure out Hit's time skip ability, making the form's debut lackluster. Goku is the next to step in the ring and is focused on figuring out how Hit is attacking before doing anything else. When he does figure out he's stopping time, he's able to predict a few moves in his base, and that's when he jumps up. But because Goku increased at such a rapid rate, this inspires Hit to improve his time ability. Goku responds in kind and uses Blue Kaioken. Caulifla is once again in awe at this new transformation, wanting to go a few rounds with it herself, having not seen Kaioken in years, bringing back the first memories of Earth. Goku is able to completely bypass Hit's time skip ability, but he doesn't secure the win, instead giving up, not wanting to beat the assassin who's clearly holding back because he can't kill. He leaves everything to Caulifla, who's ready to show off once again and is actually excited to face this time skip ability for herself. But when she throws the first punch, before it even lands, Hit goes flying off in a dramatic fashion. All this does is piss her off, and she's ready to tear Hit apart when Zeno appears. Champa and Beerus freak out, but Goku and Caulifla don't seem to care, instead wanting to ask him if he has the power to hold another tournament. Goku wanting to fight stronger opponents, and Caulifla looking for opponents around her level. Zeno really likes these two honest attitudes and promises to hold one soon before bidding farewell. As soon as he leaves, Caulifla wants to fight Goku's new form, but he says the toll it took on his body is too much, so he can't do anything for a while. But she doesn't mind because she still wants to fight Blue, so Vegeta will be a fine partner to test out this God Ki with Super Saiyan stacked on top. This is where I'll end part 5, and boy did we cover 3 whole arcs. The reason for this is they're all, at least to me, very short. Battle of Gods was a movie, Resurrection of F was a movie, and no matter how hard the anime tries stretching them out, as for the Universe 6 tournament, you can't really do much with it except describe fights, which I don't want to do since all the opponents have a specific weakness. Bonomo doesn't get physically hurt, and since you can't kill him, the only way to beat him is to find a way to ring him out. Magata is also indestructible. From what we see in the show, nobody has been able to harm this guy, so you have to hurt his feelings to do anything. Frost had his poison, and you can't stop that like I explained, leaving the only 2 fights you can get creative with is Hit and Cabba. Though I am curious how you guys would handle the fights. Maybe that's just something I can't see. Comment down below. Though all this means is that things will probably wrap up in the next part, so I hope you look forward to it.